Joby, the pilot program for I Have a Dream was run in South Auckland, largely for Pacifica kids, and now it's being rolled out, and really rolled out, in Whangarei for around about 600 kids, presumably a good many of them are Maori.
Most of our children, predominantly, well, 80% of the children that go to these particular schools are Maori. Our community names, the community themselves, predominantly Maori, yes.
So how did you sell this idea, as it were, to your community? I mean, obviously you know everybody, but how did you manage to get the idea that this was a good idea through to your people?
I think it came down to a couple of fundamental things. Ant and Scott actually did a bit of consultation for 2 years prior. So for 2 years prior to this, they'd been coming in and meeting the who's who of Whangarei, the different CEOs, of course the schools and the boards, and then coming down to us at community level, seeing who are the coaches of the different sports teams, what's happening at the local marae, what's happening at the church, and who's who. So for me, seeing that process happen, and I watched it over a year or so, and I saw the paperwork come over the desk at the marae, and people were talking about it. So dialogue started to happen slowly, but then the clincher was the opening. They had a big opening, grand opening, and they invited a whole heap of key stakeholders, which of course were all the schools. It was the first time I'd seen all 4 schools come to the one place and sit there, parents, school boards, everybody together. And then we had this big pōhiri and a big open day for the kids. But what clinched it for me was they had a hangi for 2,000 people. And so you could, you know, the way to anybody's whānau's through their stomach. And of course this consultation, so good dialogue for a long period of time, so we could sort of get an idea of what it was about as a community, and then, well, feeding the community, getting everybody on board, and I think that set a really good platform, and I saw that as something that I wanted to be a part of.
Right. You've been going for 8 months now, roughly, 8 or 9 months since the beginning of the school year, although it started before that. What have you seen during that time? I mean, what sort of changes? Is it too early yet?
I don't think it's too early yet, because what's happened is, well, we've started off programs and things like after school and during school. Well, uptake of the kids doing it, one, but parents coming and supporting more, being involved more, a little bit more interested. The community itself, they're starting to hear this whisper, I have a dream, I have a dream. And you know, that can send you on a few paths. You think of Martin Luther, you think of, oh yeah, I've got my own dreams. But this I have a dream is getting its own branding right there in Whangarei. And there's been a bit of a snowball of, well, support and positive kōrero. So it's that whole collective impact, what the community thoughts are about these places. So we're trying to really change the dialogue.
So their expectation is going to be higher for their own children?
Yes, definitely so.
And as the years go by, presumably you're hoping this will build?
Build not only just within the children, but of course across the entire community. Those children become the parents, it becomes natural culture, it becomes part and parcel of what we're sort of moving towards.
What's it going to do for Whangarei? Because, I mean, it's a reasonably depressed area up there. There isn't a lot of resource, there isn't a lot of money. You suddenly get all these hugely well-educated kids. Are they going to stay there, or are they going to run?
Well, hopefully. That's be part of the whole aspiration and part of us as a community, to make sure that those opportunities or pathways are at home, so we don't have this brain drain or the people moving off to the big smoke or overseas, of course, to that other country, but they stay home. And so a lot of that is about that identity of who they are and making them really proud of who they are and how they've grown within this, not only this context of I Have a Dream, but within themselves and schooling, education.
Have you seen a strengthening go on?
Definitely so. With the kids themselves, a unity amongst the kids. So before, and probably still a little bit sectored off here, there and everywhere, but this little bit more of a culture of, hey, we're all one, we're an I Have a Dream school, I'm an I Have a Dream student. Bit of a badge on your badge of honour as you move around Whangarei, and they say, hey, are you involved with that? Yes, I am. Oh, how can I help you? And that's sort of the dialogue that's happening in the community.
You're loving it, aren't you?
Really am, because this thing, it's not anything new. My ancestors, my grands, they already had a dream and aspiration for our area. When this came to our area, we were, of course, ecstatic to say, hey, somebody's seen us as wants to bring some resource here for our children, for our area. Let's all get on board, holus bolus, and help them and bring this rich community asset that we do have together into life, because we might be socially, economically down in whangare, but we're positive people. We have aspirations and dreams for our families and of course for each other, and I Have a Dream came along as a support system to all of that. So we had a waka, they've come along to be another paddler and put their hoi in to move us forward.
Thank you very much indeed.
Tēnā koe, kia ora.
It's easy to lose sight of your dreams. At I Have a Dream, we help Kiwi kids build bright futures.
Coach has supported me for almost 15 years. I'm living my dream because he and a whole lot of others gave a damn about me.
I Have a Dream offers long-term academic and life skills services to kids growing up in material hardship.
And the dream is only getting bigger.
Help give Kiwi kids what they need to succeed. Donate now at ihaveadream.org.nz.